Have you ever wondered why some people seem to attract money like a magnet while others struggle to make ends meet? What if I told you there's a powerful secret that could change your financial life forever? This isn't about a get-rich-quick scheme or some complicated investment strategy. It's about something much more profound: the teachings of Neville Goddard. Neville Goddard's ideas aren't just another self-help fad. They're a game changer when it comes to creating wealth. His teachings tap into something deep within us, something that has the power to reshape our entire reality, including our bank accounts. But here's the catch. You need to be ready to change the way you think about money, about yourself, and about the world around you. Think about it for a moment. What if everything you believed about money was holding you back? What if your thoughts and feelings about wealth were actually keeping you poor? That's where Goddard's teachings come in. They show us how to break free from old limiting beliefs and create a new reality, one where abundance flows freely into our lives. But let's be clear, this isn't some magic wand you can wave and suddenly become rich. It takes work, and more importantly, it takes a willingness to confront your own thoughts and beliefs. Are you ready to look in the mirror and face the person who's been holding you back all this time? Because that's what it takes to truly transform your wealth using Goddard's teachings. Now you might be thinking, come on, how can just changing my thoughts make me rich? It sounds too good to be true, right? But here's the thing. If you don't change what's going on inside your head, nothing in your outside world will change either. It's like trying to drive a car with the handbrake on. You can push the gas pedal all you want, but you're not going anywhere fast. This is where things get real. Goddard's teachings aren't just about positive thinking or wishful daydreaming. They're about rewiring your entire relationship with money and wealth. And that can be scary. It means facing your fears about money. It means confronting those nagging doubts that whisper you don't deserve to be rich, or money is the root of all evil. But here's the exciting part. Once you start to change those inner beliefs, the outside world has no choice but to change too. It's like you're giving the universe a new set of instructions. Instead of saying, keep me poor and struggling, you're saying, bring me abundance and opportunity. And believe it or not, the universe listens. But let's not sugarcoat it. This journey isn't always easy. There will be times when you doubt yourself, times when it feels like nothing is changing. That's when you need to dig deep and keep going, because the alternative is staying stuck where you are, watching opportunities pass you by, always wondering, what if? So ask yourself, are you ready to take this leap? Are you willing to challenge everything you thought you knew about money and wealth? Because if you are, Goddard's teachings could be the key that unlocks a whole new financial reality for you. Now, you might be wondering, who is this Neville Goddard guy anyway? Well, let me tell you, he wasn't some Wall Street tycoon or a get-rich-quick guru. Neville Goddard was a spiritual teacher who lived from 1905 to 1972. But don't let the word spiritual scare you off. Goddard's teachings are practical, down to earth, and incredibly powerful when it comes to creating wealth. Goddard was born in Barbados and moved to the United States as a young man. He started out as a dancer, but his life took a dramatic turn when he discovered the power of imagination. From that point on, he dedicated his life to teaching others how to use their minds to create the life they wanted. What made Goddard different from other teachers of his time was his focus on the practical application of spiritual principles. He didn't just talk about lofty ideas, he showed people how to use these ideas to change their everyday lives, and that included their financial lives. Goddard's main teaching was simple but revolutionary. Your imagination creates your reality. In other words, what you think and feel on the inside becomes your experience on the outside. This idea might sound familiar if you've heard of the law of attraction, but Goddard took it much further. He taught that your imagination isn't just a tool for daydreaming, it's the very foundation of your reality. According to Goddard, everything you see in the physical world started as an idea in someone's mind, and that includes wealth. He believed that by learning to use your imagination in a specific way, you could literally create money and abundance in your life. But Goddard's teachings weren't just about getting rich. He saw the creation of wealth as part of a larger spiritual journey. For him, learning to manifest money was a way of proving to yourself that you are a creative, powerful being. It was about realizing your true nature as a creator. One of the things that makes Goddard's teaching so powerful for creating wealth is that they address the root cause of financial struggles. Instead of just giving you tips on how to make more money, he shows you how to change your entire relationship with money. He helps you see that your financial situation is a reflection of your inner world, your beliefs, your self-image, and your deepest feelings about wealth. Goddard taught that if you want to change your financial situation, you need to start by changing your inner world. This means changing how you think about money, how you feel about wealth, and most importantly, how you see yourself in relation to abundance. For example, if deep down you believe that money is hard to come by, or that you're not the kind of person who can be wealthy, then those beliefs will shape your reality. You might find yourself constantly struggling with money no matter how hard you work. But if you can change those inner beliefs, if you can truly see yourself as someone who is worthy of abundance and capable of creating wealth, then your outer reality will begin to shift to match that new inner image. This is why Goddard's teachings can be so transformative when it comes to wealth. They don't just give you a new strategy for making money, they give you a new way of being. They help you become the kind of person who naturally attracts wealth and abundance. But here's the thing. Goddard's teachings aren't always easy to apply. They require you to take full responsibility for your life and your financial situation. You can't blame the economy or your boss or your circumstances anymore. According to Goddard, you are the creator of your reality, and that includes your financial reality. This level of responsibility can be scary at first, but it's also incredibly empowering, because if you're the one creating your financial reality, then you also have the power to change it. You're not at the mercy of outside forces, you're in the driver's seat of your financial life. Goddard's teachings also require a level of mental discipline that might be new to you. He taught specific techniques for using your imagination to create wealth, and these techniques require practice and persistence. It's not enough to just think positive thoughts now and then. You need to consistently direct your imagination towards wealth and abundance, even when your current reality seems to contradict it. But don't worry. Goddard's techniques aren't complicated. They don't require any special skills or knowledge. Anyone can learn to apply them. The key is to approach them with an open mind and a willingness to practice. One of the most powerful aspects of Goddard's teachings is that they work from the inside out. Instead of chasing after money in the outside world, you learn to create a sense of wealth and abundance within yourself first. And as you do this, you'll find that opportunities for wealth start to show up in your life in unexpected ways. This inside-out approach to wealth creation is what sets Goddard's teachings apart from traditional financial advice. Instead of just telling you to work harder or invest smarter, Goddard shows you how to become the kind of person who naturally attracts wealth. He teaches you how to align your inner world with the wealth and abundance you desire so that creating wealth becomes a natural expression of who you are. As you start to apply Goddard's teachings to your financial life, you might notice some interesting changes. You might find yourself having new ideas for making money, or you might start attracting opportunities that you never noticed before. You might even find that your relationship with money becomes more relaxed and enjoyable rather than stressful and anxious. But perhaps the most profound change is in how you see yourself. As you start to experience the power of your imagination to create real changes in your financial life, you'll develop a new level of confidence and self-assurance. You'll start to see yourself as a powerful creator capable of shaping your reality in all areas of your life, not just your finances. This newfound sense of empowerment is perhaps the greatest gift of Goddard's teachings, because once you realize that you have the power to create wealth using nothing but your imagination, you'll never see yourself as a victim of circumstances again. You'll know that no matter what challenges you face, you have the inner resources to overcome them and create the life you desire. So as we dive deeper into Goddard's specific techniques for creating wealth, keep in mind that you're not just learning about money. You're embarking on a journey of self-discovery and empowerment. You're learning to tap into the creative power that's been within you all along. And that's a journey that can transform not just your wealth, but your entire life. The power of imagination, your mind's money-making machine. Imagine for a moment that your mind is like a magic wand. Wave it one way, and you create struggle and lack. Wave it another, and you create abundance and wealth. Sounds too good to be true? Well, according to Neville Goddard, this is exactly how our imagination works. And learning to use this magic wand is the key to transforming your financial life. Goddard believed that our imagination isn't just for daydreaming or planning. He taught that it's the very tool we use to shape our reality. Think about it. Everything man-made in this world, from the chair you're sitting on to the device you're reading this on, started as an idea in someone's mind. So why should money be any different? Here's where things get really interesting. Goddard said that your imagination doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. When you vividly imagine something, your brain and body react as if it's actually happening. This is why you might get sweaty palms just thinking about public speaking, or why your mouth might water when you imagine biting into a juicy lemon. So how does this apply to money? Well, when you consistently imagine yourself as wealthy, your brain starts to accept this as your reality. You begin to think, feel, and act like a wealthy person. And here's the kicker. When you do this, you start to notice opportunities for wealth that you might have missed before. You make different decisions, you take different actions, and all of this leads to different results. But there's a catch. Just like any powerful tool, your imagination can work for you or against you. If you constantly imagine yourself struggling with money, guess what? You're likely to keep struggling. Your brain will look for evidence to support this belief, and you'll miss opportunities for wealth that are right in front of you. So how do you start using your imagination to create wealth? It's simpler than you might think. Start by setting aside some time each day to vividly imagine your ideal financial situation. See yourself living in abundance. Feel the emotions of financial freedom. Imagine checking your bank account and seeing a balance that makes you smile. The key is to make these imaginary scenes as real and vivid as possible. Use all your senses. What do you see? What do you hear? What do you feel? The more real you can make it in your mind, the more powerful the effect will be. Remember, this isn't about escapism or denial of your current situation. It's about programming your mind for success. It's about aligning your inner world with the wealth you want to create in your outer world. And according to Goddard, this alignment is the real secret to lasting wealth and abundance. Now let's talk about something that might sound a bit strange at first. Neville Goddard taught that the secret to making your imaginary scenes real isn't just about what you see in your mind. It's about how you feel. In fact, he wrote an entire book called Feeling is the Secret. And when it comes to creating wealth, understanding this principle can make all the difference. Here's the deal: your feelings are like a magnet. They attract experiences that match them. If you constantly feel worried about money, you're likely to attract more situations that make you worry about money. But if you can cultivate feelings of abundance and financial security, you start to attract experiences that match those feelings. This is where most people go wrong when trying to use visualization or affirmations to improve their finances. They might picture themselves with lots of money, but deep down, they still feel poor and anxious. And according to Goddard, it's those deeper feelings that really shape our reality. So how do you change your feelings about money? It starts with your imagination. When you imagine your ideal financial situation, don't just see it, feel it. Feel the relief of having all your bills paid easily. Feel the excitement of watching your investments grow. Feel the joy of being able to buy what you want without worrying about the price. The trick is to make these feelings as real and vivid as possible. Goddard taught that if you can feel the reality of being wealthy for just a few moments, you've planted a seed that will grow into actual wealth in your life. But here's where it gets really powerful. Goddard taught that you should feel these emotions as if your desire has already come true. Don't feel hopeful that you'll be wealthy someday. Feel grateful that you're wealthy now, even if your current bank balance doesn't reflect it yet. This might feel like you're lying to yourself at first, but remember, you're not trying to fool yourself. You're programming your subconscious mind. You're aligning your inner world with the wealth you want to create in your outer world. Try this. Next time you pay a bill, instead of feeling stressed or resentful, feel grateful that you have the money to pay it. Feel abundant. Feel wealthy. This simple shift in your emotional state can start to change your entire relationship with money. And here's a pro tip: don't just do this when you're sitting quietly with your eyes closed. Try to carry these feelings of abundance with you throughout your day. When you're at work, feel like a wealthy person doing what they love, not someone struggling to make ends meet. When you're shopping, feel the abundance of being able to buy what you need and want. Remember, according to Goddard, your outer world is just a reflection of your inner world. So if you want to change your financial reality, start by changing your inner emotional reality. Feel wealthy now and watch as your outer world begins to shift to match those feelings. Now we come to one of Goddard's most powerful teachings, the concept of living in the end. This idea might just revolutionize the way you think about creating wealth. So what does living in the end mean? Simply put, it means living as if your desire has already come true. When it comes to wealth, living in the end means thinking, feeling, and acting as if you're already wealthy, even if your current bank balance doesn't reflect it yet. It's about adopting the mindset, the emotions, and even the habits of a wealthy person before you actually have the money. Now, I know what you might be thinking. Isn't that just pretending? Isn't that fake it till you make it? Not quite. Living in the end goes much deeper than just pretending. It's about fully embodying the state of being wealthy to the point where it feels more real to you than your current financial situation. Here's why this is so powerful. When you truly live in the end, you start to make decisions from the perspective of a wealthy person. You start to see opportunities that you might have missed before. You carry yourself differently. You speak differently. And all of these subtle changes start to shift your reality. So how do you start living in the end when it comes to wealth? It starts with asking yourself some questions. How would a wealthy person think about money? How would they make decisions? How would they carry themselves? How would they treat others? For example, a wealthy person might not stress about small expenses. They might be more focused on investments and opportunities. They might be more generous. They might spend more time thinking about how to create value rather than how to save pennies. Start incorporating these ways of thinking and acting into your daily life. When you're faced with a financial decision, ask yourself, what would I do if I were already wealthy? Then, as much as possible, make that choice. But remember, living in the end isn't about being reckless with your current resources. It's about adopting a mindset of abundance rather than scarcity. It's about making decisions based on opportunity rather than fear. Here's a practical way to start living in the end. Each morning, when you wake up, take a few moments to fully imagine that you are already wealthy. Feel the peace and security that comes with financial abundance. Then, carry that feeling with you throughout your day. Make your decisions from that place of abundance. You might be surprised at how quickly things start to shift when you consistently live in the end. You might find yourself having new ideas for creating wealth. You might attract new opportunities. You might even find that your relationship with money becomes more relaxed and enjoyable. But here's the most important part: don't wait for these outer changes to believe in your wealth. In Goddard's teaching, the belief comes first. The outer manifestation follows. So no matter what your current circumstances look like, keep living in the end. Keep embodying the state of wealth and abundance. Remember, according to Goddard, your imagination is creating your reality all the time. By consciously choosing to live in the end, you're taking control of this creative process. You're telling your subconscious mind and the universe exactly what kind of reality you want to experience. So start living as if you're already wealthy. Make decisions as a wealthy person would. Feel the emotions of wealth and abundance. Carry yourself with the confidence of someone who knows they're financially secure. Do this consistently and watch as your outer world begins to align with this inner state of wealth. Living in the end isn't always easy. There will be times when your current reality seems to contradict the state you're trying to embody. But this is where faith comes in. Trust in the process, trust in the power of your imagination, and most importantly, trust in yourself and your ability to create the wealthy life you desire. Have you ever wished you could go back and change your past financial decisions? Well, according to Neville Goddard, you can, at least in your mind. And surprisingly, this mental revision can have a real impact on your present and future wealth. This is where Goddard's powerful revision technique comes into play. The revision technique is all about mentally rewriting your past experiences. It's like editing a movie of your life, but instead of just changing the scenes, you're changing the emotions and beliefs attached to those scenes. When it comes to money, this can be incredibly powerful. Here's how it works. Think of a past financial experience that still bothers you. Maybe it's a bad investment, a missed opportunity, or a time when you struggled to pay your bills. Now, instead of reliving that experience as it happened, imagine how you would have liked it to go. See yourself making a wise investment decision. Picture yourself seizing that opportunity. Imagine paying your bills with ease and having money left over. The key is to make this new version feel as real as possible. Use all your senses. Feel the relief, the joy, the sense of accomplishment. This isn't about denying what happened in the physical world. It's about changing your emotional response to it, and in doing so, changing the effect it has on your present and future. Why does this work? Goddard taught that our subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between a real experience and a vividly imagined one. By revising our past experiences, we're literally reprogramming our subconscious beliefs about money and wealth. Try this. Before you go to sleep each night, review your day. If there were any financial situations that didn't go as you would have liked, revise them in your imagination. See them playing out the way you would have preferred. Feel the positive emotions associated with these revised scenes. Do this consistently, and you may be surprised at how your attitude towards money and your financial reality begins to shift. Remember, the goal isn't to live in denial or to avoid learning from past mistakes. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional baggage of past financial struggles and opening yourself up to new possibilities of wealth and abundance. Now, let's talk about two crucial elements that can make or break your journey to wealth using Goddard's teachings: persistence and faith. These might sound like simple concepts, but they're often the hardest part of applying these principles to create real change in your financial life. Persistence is all about sticking with your new way of thinking, even when your outer world hasn't caught up yet. It's about continuing to imagine wealth, feel abundant, and live in the end, even when your bank account is telling a different story. Goddard taught that there's often a time lag between our inner shift and its outer manifestation. This is where many people give up, thinking it's not working. But persistence is the bridge between your inner vision and your outer reality. Faith, in Goddard's teachings, isn't about believing in a higher power. It's about having complete confidence in the power of your own imagination to create your reality. It's about trusting the process even when you can't see the results yet. This kind of faith can be challenging, especially when it comes to money. We're often taught to only believe what we can see and touch. But according to Goddard, true creation happens first in the unseen realm of imagination. Here's a practical way to build persistence and faith. Keep a manifestation journal. Each day, write down your financial goals as if they've already happened. I am so happy and grateful now that I have your specific financial goal. Write about how it feels to have achieved this. Read over your past entries regularly, especially when you're feeling doubtful. This practice helps to keep your vision alive and strengthens your faith in the process. Remember, creating wealth isn't just about the end result, it's about who you become in the process. As you persist in applying these principles, you're developing patience, discipline, and unwavering faith qualities that will serve you well in all areas of life, not just your finances. Now, you might be wondering, does this stuff really work? Can people actually change their financial lives just by changing their thoughts and imagination? The answer is a resounding yes, and there are countless success stories to prove it. Take Sarah, for example. She was a single mom struggling to make ends meet. After learning about Goddard's teachings, she started imagining herself in a well-paying job that she loved, with plenty of time for her kids. She felt the relief of having her bills paid easily and the joy of being able to take her children on vacation. Within months, she was offered a flexible, high-paying position that seemed tailor-made for her situation. Then there's Mike, who had been in debt for years. He started using the revision technique to reimagine his past financial decisions. He also began living in the end, making decisions as if he were already debt-free and financially secure. Gradually, new opportunities for earning and saving money started appearing in his life. Within a year, he had paid off all his debts and was building savings for the first time in his life. Or consider Lisa, who wanted to start her own business but was held back by fear and limiting beliefs about money. She used Goddard's techniques to imagine herself as a successful entrepreneur. She felt the excitement of running a thriving business and the satisfaction of financial independence. As she persisted in this practice, she found herself taking inspired actions she never would have considered before. Today, she runs a profitable online business that gives her the freedom and income she once only dreamed of. These stories aren't unique. There are thousands of people who have used Goddard's teachings to transform their financial lives. The common thread in all these stories is that these people didn't just passively visualize wealth, they combined their inner work with inspired action, persistence, and faith. As we wrap up this exploration of Neville Goddard's teachings on wealth, let's recap the key points we've covered. We've learned that our imagination is the most powerful tool we have for creating wealth. We've discovered that our feelings are the secret to making our imaginings real. We've explored the concept of living in the end, embodying the state of wealth before it manifests in our physical reality. We've also learned about the power of revising our past financial experiences and the crucial roles that persistence and faith play in this process. And we've seen real-life examples of people who have used these principles to transform their financial lives. But here's the most important thing to remember. This isn't just about money. It's about realizing your power as a creative being. It's about understanding that your inner world shapes your outer reality in all areas of life, not just your finances. As you begin to apply these teachings in your own life, remember to be patient with yourself. This is a process of growth and transformation, and it takes time. There may be moments of doubt or frustration, but these are just opportunities to practice persistence and strengthen your faith. Start small. Begin with simple exercises like the ones we've discussed. Spend a few minutes each day imagining your ideal financial situation. Practice feeling wealthy and abundant, even if your current circumstances don't reflect that yet. Use the revision technique to change your emotional responses to past financial experiences. Most importantly, take inspired action. While Goddard's teachings emphasize the power of imagination, they're not about passive wishful thinking. As you change your inner world, you'll likely feel prompted to take new actions in your outer world. Trust these impulses and act on them. Remember, your journey to wealth begins in your mind. Your imagination is the blueprint, your emotions are the building materials, and your persistence and faith are the construction workers bringing your vision to life. Trust in this process and in your own innate power to create the wealthy, abundant life you desire. You have within you the power to transform your financial reality. It all starts with a thought, a feeling, an imagined scene. So why not start right now? Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and begin to imagine the wealthy life you desire. Feel it, believe it, live it in your mind. And watch as your outer world begins to shift to match this inner vision. Your journey to wealth and abundance starts here in this moment. The power is in your hands, or more accurately, in your mind. Use it wisely, use it consistently, and prepare to be amazed at what you can create.